Hi there, this is Dr. Dell again, and on this video I want to talk to you about the book I've written called Teaching Math, which of course we're going to give you a free PDF copy of it. You could buy it at Amazon to run on your Kindle if you wanted to, or you could buy a hard copy from our website, but I'm going to give you a PDF version of it. And this book is about 130 pages long, and it really talks about teaching math and what's required today at the middle school and the high school level, post-elementary math. Now, I've really divided it into several chapters and sections, and I start out and I talk about the problem today that we have with teaching math, and it really is a significant problem we have all across this country with many of our students, almost not all of our students, but most of them. And so that will be the first chapter. It's about 15 pages long, and it really gets to the heart of what is the problem today. And then I want to begin to talk to you in this book about what it takes to solve the problem. And it starts off by understanding what it takes to really be a successful math teacher and present a successful program. And it all hinges on what I call the effective math education triad. There are three components to the triad, and I talk about that in the second chapter. It starts on page 17. And just quickly, the three components are the psychology of your student is the most important component. The way you teach math, I call it the pedagogy, is the next very important component, and then the most important component after that is the content, what you teach. And that really is the problem today with our current standard curriculum. The content has gotten completely out of whack. It's evolved in a way that's very inappropriate for most students. It doesn't teach it in a tiered level the way I recommend that you do, and I know that is the best way to do it. And so that's what I talk about. Now, one of the things you need to understand today to successfully teach math is you need to understand the power tools of math. There are several ways today that you can solve math problems using the power tools that are much more efficient than it was historically. And unfortunately, our standard curriculum today still teaches a lot of the archaic methods that are now basically obsoleted by the power tools. In fact, what I do in the Practical Math Foundation, which you'll learn about on another video, is I use the TI-30XA calculator, which is about a $10 calculator, in the very first two tiers of what we teach. And I tell you all about that in this book. But there's other power tools you'll need to know about too if you're going to go beyond just practical math. Now, throughout this book, I have interludes that are really videos to help you understand different aspects of teaching math and to help you in your own program. And there are 6 of these interludes, and so you'll run into them. I talk about other math education resources today that you should know about if you're going to be teaching math that are very effective to help you do that. And then what I want to tell you about is what I believe is an appropriate solution to the problem we have today, and that is a curriculum that I believe is appropriate for the 21st century and what we're doing for our students. And I get into that in chapter 5 in quite a bit of detail. In chapter 6, I talk about the delivery system that we should be using today. Classroom batch teaching, which is the old industrial model, just simply is not effective. You need self-paced, you need interactivity, and you need constant feedback. You need to develop what I call the math habit, which I talk about elsewhere on my website. In chapter 7, I talk about how if you do this properly today, this could be the financial salvation for our high schools. Now, if you're a homeschool teacher, it can be the salvation for delivering a really quality education to your homeschool students. I talk about what I call the Mathemacy Imperative in chapter 8, and that really is why learning mathematics today is going to be such great benefit to our society, and I talk about those benefits in chapter 9. And that takes us through the first 100 pages of the book, which is essentially what most of you will be interested in. I do then, for those few of you that have special students that might want to be professional mathematicians, I have 2 more chapters about what you need to do for the very best math students and what you can offer them and how to do that. And so that's what this book is about. I encourage you to read it if you're interested in teaching math. If you're mostly interested in just doing it yourself, then I have a teacher's guide that I'll talk about on the video below this one. This is Dr. Dell signing off. I wish you success.